1600 action coming your way, lining up right there. The number 16 of Christian Petrakovic. He's from Austria, and he's going to be lining up against Anders Hansen from Norway. That's Anders sitting in the car there. And rest of the heat is Adar Rakhmatulin. You'll notice the car because it's a team car to Andreas Backerud and Stanislav Suster from the Czech Republic as well. Well, look at that. Both VWs butting heads literally going into that first bend, taking their joker lap. Surprisingly early, actually. Adar Rakhmatulin is out there, and he comes out in third place. So these two cars, Christian Petrakovic and the number 26 of Anders Hansen from Norway, scream out there in front. As I said before, the whole idea with the heats is to set up the A, B and C finals later on in the race weekend. You can see a big crowd here at Lydden Hill this weekend. The weather has been absolutely fantastic the whole way through. Well, fantastic if you like really nice, dry, warm, sunny weather, which is somewhat unusual for England in the middle of April, but we'll take it anyway. So out there in front, Petrakovic takes his joker lap right now. Let's see if the other two right behind him, so that'll be Rakhmatulin and Anders Hansen, can catch him and pass him or not. Here comes Rakhmatulin, but no! Unbelievably, Christian Petrakovic gets out there in front. Well, what a big surprise, actually. Adar Rakhmatulin from Russia. Like I said, the team car to Andreas Backerud that we saw just a moment ago take the quite easy win, to be honest with you. Not getting it done here against the little VWs. They were really, really cool little cars, those ones. And the Citroen in second and another VW in third as well. So, barring any unfortunate incidents, this looks like how it's going to finish. At the moment, yep, checkered flag for Christian Petrakovic from Austria. Great effort for him with the VW Polo. Rakhmatulin second, maybe even problems as well. Anders Hansen third, and Stanislav Suster from the Czech Republic finished fourth. OK, we're lining up Heat 2, or the first race in Heat 2 we're going to be showing you here for the supercars. And, well, that's Michael de Keersmaker. We last saw him at the end of the year, unfortunately be disqualified for a technical infraction, but he's back and trying again this time round. Oh, and he's getting squeezed out. Look at that. Well, what a big coming together on the first bend there. The number 13 car and Michael de Keersmaker going straight on there. That was Pavel Kutny taking him out as well. At the moment, the number 21 car is Timur Timizhanov. He's out there in front. Well, first bend bunching or not, as the case may be. They all decided to go for their joker lap at the same time, and they all squeezed each other out. That was, well, not the greatest start to that heat. But Timizhanov doing a much better job this time round. There's Michael de Keersmaker still going round, but I think he's going to be some way down the order after that incident. He's going to be a very, very distant placing after that, sadly. Yeah, but at the moment, out there in front still doing great in the second heat, Timur Timizhanov. That was Frank Valle you saw going on his joker lap there. At the moment, Timizhanov really is streaking out in front of everybody else, but that first bend incident really put pay to, well, 3 out of 5 cars' chances of getting anywhere near the front of the field. This run really is a walk for Timizhanov. He still does have to do his joker lap, so there is a good chance that, well, there's a chance, not a good chance necessarily, that Frank Valle is going to be able to catch him when he does that. But here he comes this time round. He will... No, I beg your pardon. He's still got one more lap to go after this. But making it look quite easy so far is Timur Timizhanov. Michael de Keersmaker, again, right down the order. He did have a very sad end to the year last year, but he's a very, very good driver and should be up there in the championship again this year. So, nice shots of him screaming down the hill here at Lydden Hill. Round from the tarmac part of the circuit onto the shale, which is very dry and dusty this weekend. The track crew do water it to try and keep it down a bit, but obviously it still gets dry very quickly in the heat. In the heat, not something you normally say in Great Britain at this time of year. But there you go. Timizhanov does his joker lap and still comes out there, well, quite a few seconds in front of Frank Valle. And this really is for time and pride now for Timur Timizhanov. Getting a hang of driving the Citroen pretty well, to be honest with you. He did say in the interview earlier on that there's a lot more to do in the car, and it really does take a lot more driving. It's obviously a lot faster as well. But he's going to be taking his first ever checkered flag in a supercar. There we go. And it is Citroën on top of the board after that one. Frank Valler second. And Michael de Keersmaeker a very distant fourth after that first bend incident. Well, we do have more supercars coming your way. As I mentioned before, they were called Division 1 last year. Same cars, really. New name. We always called them supercars anyway because they are absolutely fantastic. Turbo, 2 litre, over 500 horsepower. Lining up this time around. Oh, Mark LeBall stalls on the line. Doesn't go anywhere at all. That's Liam Duran with the Citroën into the first bend first. And, well, he's going to be followed out. Look at that. They're taking their Joker lap straight away. That is Tanner Faust. And closing the door on him at the moment, doing his lad a favour. That's Pat Duran, Liam's dad. So Liam drives for the Citroën team. And Pat, a privateer, but still a very, very good driver indeed. Obviously, it was him that brought his son on and into the sport as well. Pat used to race, has raced for many, many years. I remember seeing Pat in a fantastic Ford RS200. And really keeping Tanner Faust at bay at the moment. The higher funded Rockstar team, you can actually see the wheel rubbing on the bodywork for Tanner Faust. I'm not sure whether that's because he's had a dink or it just does that normally, in all honesty. But Pat Duran really is keeping the door closed at the moment. He's letting his boy get well out there in front, putting some great lap times. And Tanner Faust trying absolutely everything. Goes up the inside of Pat Duran. What an overtaking move. But Pat Duran looks like he's come round the outside of him again. Gone the short way round, but Tanner Faust closes the door firmly after Pat Duran spun out on his Joker lap there. Probably being a bit too eager once again. Sorry, not probably being a bit too easy. That's easy for me to say. I'm only watching. But he's obviously trying very, very hard indeed. And sadly for him, it ended out in the dust. So there's Frode Holter with the blue and white Volvo from Norway. Really, really nice looking race car. Well, when it's not banged up quite like that, to be honest with you. Davy Genet doing a great job at the minute. Still out there in front. One more lap to go, and then these two right here have got to come in for their Joker lap. And the Joker lap not quite mixing it up as much as it normally does here at Lydden Hill. But we've still got all the finals and everything to look forward to. The way they come out is they come out and they run in the heats, and the guys with the quickest times go to the front of the A final, and then it's through down to the B final and C final as well. If you win the C final, you get put forward to the back of the grid for the B final. And then obviously the big one is the A final, and they gain points throughout the year for how they do in every round and every race. That's why you see some drivers not too upset with finishing second or third somewhere, because they know next time they're going to get them and they're going to get the win. So both those guys going for their Joker laps. And Frode Holter, oh look at that, wheel to wheel, two Volvos going at it, one blue and one green, and trading paint. They both got a bit of paint from each other. Hunsbeth nudges Frode Holter just out that little bit in his Volvo, and Frode Holter is now third. Oh, and a quick nudge up the backside as well by the looks of that. And Frode's actually trying to go round on the inside. Let's see that move again from the outside. And Ludwig Hunsbeth goes wide on the top end here at Lydden Hill. Frode Holter's got the drop on him coming down, and he's got the racing line. It looks like Ludwig Hunsbeth's going to have to yield, and he does. Well, oblivious to all of that, out there in front is Davy Genet. What a great race for second that was. And Frode Holter takes that. Ludwig Hunsbeth third. And Pat Duran, sadly, didn't finish at all. But what a really excellent battle between Frode Holter and Ludwig Hunsbeth. So, next up, more heats before we get to those finals. Liam Duran in the Citroën. Tanner Faust with the Rockstar Ford from America. Thomas Häkkinen with Per Eklund's really indecently quick Saab, and that's Andreas Eriksson. Who gets the drop into the first bend? Well, the two guys on the outside. That's Andreas Eriksson behind Thomas Häkkinen at the moment. Well, he's really going to have a tiger on his tail for the rest of the race, to be honest with you, because Andreas Eriksson really does not give up and goes as hard as he possibly can. Tanner Faust out there in front at the moment, just that little bit in front of Liam Duran. And Liam up the hill, dives up the inside, gets round the inside of Tanner Faust. What an overtaking manoeuvre. I don't think Tanner's actually... No, he's not. Couple of bumps and Tanner is not going to be able to take that position back. So for the minute, it is Liam Duran out there running in first. Nice overtaking manoeuvre as well. Well, there's me saying that Lydden Hill doesn't show much overtaking. We've had a lot of it this afternoon. Obviously, it just depends how aggressive the guys want to be. So Liam Duran leads. Look at that. He's got Tanner Faust right on his bumper the whole way around. I think Andreas Eriksson's team really have. And he's overtaken him as well. Tanner Faust has gone back round Liam Duran. Well, those guys are going to be so tough this summer. They seem to have found some tremendous extra horsepower in those 2-litre Ford turbo engines. And obviously, both of them working really, really well. So Tanner Faust is out in front. Liam Duran second. Couldn't quite see from that shot who was running third there, to be honest with you, but I'm sure we'll see him in just a moment. But both Tanner and Liam haven't been for their Joker laps just yet. It's Thomas Häkkinen, I beg your pardon. So obviously Andreas Eriksson tailed off a bit at the back. Liam Duran decides to take the long way round this time right now. And Thomas Häkkinen, by the look of it, Thomas Häkkinen actually takes Liam Duran quite easily by some margin. So Tanner out in front with the Rockstar Ford is in the lead at the moment. He hasn't taken his Joker lap. The other two behind him have. And for the moment as well, that is a big shock. Liam Duran is being headed by Thomas Häkkinen at the moment. It looks like Andreas Eriksson has actually disappeared. We can't even see him in the distance at the back there, sadly. So he must have a problem. Tanner Faust having his photograph taken, coming round that bend there. So this time round, he has to take the long way round. Let's see if Thomas Häkkinen can take Tanner Faust up the inside, and he does as well. Thomas Häkkinen takes Tanner Faust, and Liam Duran, let's see if Liam can do it as well. No, Tanner closes the door, but what a superb effort for Thomas Häkkinen, leading the Rockstar car and the Citroen as well. Well, who'd have thought that at the start of the race? Thomas Häkkinen was Finnish Rallycross champion last year, and that really deserves some merit in its own right. Finland, world famous for producing some of the best rally and rallycross drivers in the world, if not the best rally and rallycross drivers in the world. And for this race, it's Thomas Häkkinen. Per Eklund probably very proud in the pits after that one. He takes the win. Tanner Faust second, Liam Duran third, and Andreas Eriksson sadly didn't finish that race. Well, what a great race that was between all the supercars. Well, this is the B final for the supercars. Tanner Faust makes the front row of the B final. We just saw him win that race, so he's obviously doing very well indeed. Ludwig Hunsbeth. Frode Holter in the other Volvo as well, composing himself on the line. Andreas Eriksson, strangely in the B final, not out there at front. So, at the moment, it's Tanner Faust gets the drop into the first bend. Frode Holter, I tell you what, Frode looks like he was in front of him there, but choose to take the long way round first time. Timur Timojanov is up there in the Citroen. Good to see him in the B final in his first race. Ludwig Hunsbeth, a great effort as well to get into the B final on his first ever weekend with the Volvo, and he actually takes... no, he doesn't. I was just going to say he takes Timur Timojanov, but overcooks it going into the bend. That leaves Tanner Faust and Timur Timojanov out there to fight it in the front. Andreas Eriksson fourth at the moment, and Frode Holter, very surprisingly, more experienced with that Volvo than than the fellow Scandinavian, but he is actually out there at the back at the moment. So Tanner Faust for the second time round still leads Timur Timojanov. And don't forget, the winner of this race, with it being the B final, will actually be put onto the back of the grid for the A final, which we're going to see in just a few moments. They're absolutely going at it tooth and nail here. Timur Timojanov would love nothing more, and he does. Look at that for a passing move. I mean, that's a little bit of a bump, but in all honesty, that's what rallycross racing is all about. He takes Tanner Faust on the top end. That is a surprise, because Andreas Eriksson's team cars do seem to have had much more horsepower this week, and they seem to be able to run everybody. I can only think that was either a small mistake by Tanner Faust or fantastic driving from Timur Timojanov. Tanner Faust decides to go quit while he's ahead, take the long way round and see where he comes out. He's not going to come out anywhere near where he wants to be. Andreas Eriksson now second.